Hey guys, my name's Labany, and I'm going to be just making a short, or as short as I can basic guide to hacks. Not going to be an hour-long thing, but it might be kind of long. So if you want to, refresh your memory about, hacks and stuff, just watch the video. Quick disclaimer before we start: if you're not 100% sure about banning somebody, and you think that they're cheating, don't do it. That's my advice to you. It usually does not end up well because then you're going to be questioning your decisions. You're going to be, you're not going to be sure that they were cheating, and you might have just falsely banned somebody. So if you're unsure, just get another moderator's opinion and see what they think. But again, don't ban someone if you're not 100% sure. All right, enjoy the guide. So this is a video explaining how to catch most hack clients or cheats or illegal mods on Badlion, that sort of stuff, that people were requesting in the Arena PvP section. So what a hack client is basically a modification of Minecraft that allows you to do things that you weren't able to do, or you shouldn't be able to do. Stuff like kill aura, like flying, timer, all that good stuff. You know what that stuff does. But what I'm going to talk about more specifically here is what to look out for and how to catch certain hacks. So I'm going to just start off with the basic things. So I'll start off with the most basic thing, flying. If it's either you see it or you don't. Like, there might be times where it might look a bit buggy if they're lagging. Make sure that they're not lagging. If they move in a weird way, just make sure that they're not lagging or anything. And, if they're flying, they're flying. Like, okay, let's move on. Alright, the next thing I'm going to talk about is probably the biggest cheat that we've always been trying to get rid of here on Badlion is, combat-related hacks. Like, stuff like kill aura, force field, trigger bot, aimbot, all that good stuff. But what I want to take a look at right now is kill aura. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put a clip in here or not, but I might put an example clip of what kill aura sort of looks like. So kill aura, it can either be really obvious or not too obvious. It's usually a little bit difficult to pick out. Kill aura will look like the opponent, like the person who's using it, will be hitting people from a distance that's not really possible. They'll be getting hits that you usually don't normally see. Their heads usually either just looking just straight forward or up here. It might be up here, might be down here, or, depending on the weird hack client, it might be even down here. It just depends. Just make sure that, they're getting normal hits. If they're not, then you might want to check them out a little bit more for that. But kill aura basically, it gives you increased range on players. It lets you hit them away from further. Lets you get stranger hits while you're not aiming at the player. So if their aim is generally pretty off, and just shitty, and they're still just getting mad fucking combos, there's something to look out there for. So some things that I want to go over with kill aura that I didn't know at the beginning. Something nice to watch out for. When a player is approaching a player, usually, the conventional way to PvP is to approach a player, then start clicking before you get in hit range, to get the first hit. Because, if you start clicking beforehand, then, you're going to get more hits. But if a player just decides not clicking at all, just running up to the player, and then all of a sudden in range, their first swing gets them a hit. Their first swing, and it happens every time. They're getting fishy hits, and their head's not exactly in place, or they're just hitting them from way too far away. Far away is like if they were standing over where that grass is, that'd be far away. That would be that grass that I'm punching right now. That'd be way out there. So if they're doing that sort of stuff, they are cheating. But the thing is, you need to have at least more than three or more clips on them just to make sure that they're cheating. Okay, so now I'm going to go into some more complicated things. So some stuff that's not directly related to combat but aids in combat. I'll go over aimbot. So aimbot is another biggie that you'll see people using. It's becoming harder and harder to detect. Aimbot will just generally look like, you know what aimbot does. It just locks onto people, like, it's gonna snap onto them like how I'm snapped onto this block here. Let me just go into so like the crosshair will be like, always on the player. So, some ways to find people who use aimbot are just, you're going to look for their head. You're going to look like, you're going to look for, this, a big flag, a big red flag for aimbot is, say if the hacker is fighting somebody, and say the opponent of the hacker, like, jumps, like, while he's using aimbot. Like, you'll see some weird stuff like, like, his head will just move just slightly with the player, just, like, always following the player. Just very, very, like, just perfect. It's going to look like he's never going to miss a hit. If someone looks like they're using aimbot, here are some ways to, check if they're not using it, or, like, these are some, like, things that you can use to make sure that you don't have a false ban. If, they look like they're using aimbot, but they start missing hits all of a sudden, and they're within hitting range, and they look like they're sort of aiming on the player, but they're missing hits, but they still look fishy. 90% of the time, it will not be aimbot. 90% of the time, it will not be aimbot, so make sure to watch out for that. That's usually a flag to say, like, okay, this person's legit, let's move on here. So I went over aimbot. Aimbot's just going to be very hard to detect sometimes because you all know what smooth aimbot is for the most part. If you don't know, smooth aimbot is basically aimbot that's smooth, where you're going to, instead of just snapping right onto the player, it's gonna like push your cursor onto the player. It'll be like fast like that, but it won't be like right into the middle. It'll be like that instead of so it'll look a lot less obvious, so that's something to look out for. But if you're not 100% on something, I would recommend that you just leave them be, let them play. It's okay if they go on to fight another day. It's not the end of the world. So another couple hacks that I want to talk about. So I covered most of the big ones that you're going to be looking out for in general. So stuff like timer, that's a big one. I think it's a big one. Timer can be a lot of things. Timer is a general, just term for modifying the timer in Minecraft to do things faster or slower in general. So if you see somebody, so you know how regular jumping looks. If you see someone going up and down like twice their speed, like just jumping crazy fast up and down, or maybe like stuff like crit hacks, like if they're just barely, like if they jump like 1/8 of this height, they're usually hacking. Like that's impossible to do. It's impossible to jump like half this height, or like jump faster. There is nothing in Minecraft that allows you to jump faster in the normal game, so then therefore that's timer. So like timer can be a wide variety of things, but usually it's stuff that it's usually sped up. So if you see players just running around like quickly, jumping extremely quickly, that they're cheating. But I'm not going to go extremely in depth with timer because there's a lot of hacks out there for it, but usually you can't see most of them. So yeah, that's what you're going to look out for. Speed hacks, the same category as flying. Like you see it, you don't. Like make sure that they're not lagging. Make sure that you're not seeing anything funny. Make sure that they don't have speed 2 on or a potion effect. Make sure that your particles are on, so in case they have like a speed effect on, you don't mistakenly think they're speed hacking. Yeah, just you will know when they're speed hacking. You'll usually not find too many speed hackers because they're usually all banned by G-Cheat, because it's pretty easy to catch. But yeah, in case you see those, just watch out. Some other things that I want to go over. Anti-knockback. So there's the obvious form of anti-knockback where you try to hit them and like you'll hit the person, but then they won't go back any. Like they'll just stay in place like this. Like they just won't take any knockback. That's plain and simple. Then there's certain anti-knockbacks which will just make you go back an inch or so. Like, you'll take knockback, but just barely. But don't ban for that. Don't ban for knockback reducer. Like it's just chancy. It's very chancy. Do not ban for don't ban for anti-knockback unless you are 100% sure that they're using it, because I don't want new mods going out and banning for knockback multiplier and knockback modifier, which falls in the same category as just regular old anti-knockback, but only ban the players for anti-knockback if they're not taking any sort of knockback. Just zero knockback. That's what I'm talking about. Some things to watch out for anti-knockback. You want to watch out if they're, say they're playing MCSG or Build UHC. Make sure that they're not on fire. If they're on fire and they're not taking knockback, that can be false. Because how damage works is that you can take damage, but when you take damage from a fire tick and someone hits you with the sword right after, they'll take damage from the sword, but they won't take the knockback from it. So if they're on fire, you can't be sure if they're using anti-knockback. So make sure that they're not on fire or taking continuous ticks of damage while you're checking somebody for anti-knockback. Another thing to watch out for, same concept. If they're playing like a potion kit and they're poisoned. That's another biggie. You want to make sure that you don't false ban for that. Just be very careful. Also, you want to make sure that they're not that they just don't have really a lot of latency, like a lot of MS, because in my past I've falsely banned people for maybe one time I falsely banned somebody for anti-knockback. It looked like he was taking no knockback, but in reality, he just had a lot of ping, and I didn't realize, I didn't look closely enough. It just sort of looked like he jumped backwards to, to go refill his inventory or something. And then I realized that, oh, wait a second, he has a lot of ping. So make sure that they just don't have a lot of ping, or, they're just not laggy or whatever. I think that just about does it for the basic hacks. If there's something that I didn't go over that you guys want me to go over, and if you guys want me to post examples, I can do that. Just give me feedback on the video. If you want something better explained, just tell me. I know that sometimes my words don't mean, or aren't the greatest. If you want me to put it in different words for you, if you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about, just feel free to hit me up on the forums. But, yeah, that's just basically an overview of most hacks that we banned for here. I'm not sure if I missed any biggies, so tell me if I missed any biggies. I won't be going over stuff like TriggerBot, because that's basically just, that's the same thing as Killara, except Killara, it'll hit players when they're looking, within the screen, just this whole big area. Well, TriggerBot will just hit them while they're facing the player. So those are the things that I'm just going to go over for now. If you want me to go over something else, just tell me. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the rambling about the packs and whatnot. So, yeah.